Well, someone was pretty keen to downplay the record, and that was direct rival and team boss of Mercedes, Toto Wolff. Essentially, he said he didn't even know, if Max cared about the records, but he boiled it down to it's just for Wikipedia. No one reads that anyways. Nate,
So
surprised to hear that from the Austrian.
so we were quite we I mean, to be honest with you, it's been quite a quiet season from Mercedes and Red Bull. So we were delighted to hear that quote because it throws a bit of throws a bit of wood onto the
Little
fire a
juice.
little bit. And that's kind of what we got so used to in 2021. We then started looking at it and we realized that Wikipedia is the fourth most read website in the world. So I don't think Toto Wolff has the same opinion of Wikipedia as the majority of people that know what Wikipedia is about. But I thought it was an interesting comment, and I think it was a bit of a strange one to me, because it is a big deal. It is kind of unprecedented, and I think I, I feel as well at the moment, anytime Mercedes are kind of commenting on Red Bull and Max's dominance, if it isn't glowingly positive, then even if they've got some justification for what they say, it just comes across as sour grapes a little bit, doesn't it? Because this is a team that dominated for so long. They had it their own way for so many years, and full credit to them for doing that, because at the time they were what Red Bull is now. They were that team that had the target on their back, as Toto Wolff said on Netflix, but everyone was chasing them, and that's flipped around now. And now it's Red Bull out in front, and Red Bull had to wait 8 years to win that constructors championship, 7 to win a drivers championship, and I think it's quite telling that Red Bull aren't rising to this bait in a way they might have done in 2021. Christian was asked about not those comments, but about Lewis Hamilton's comments earlier in the weekend about Max not having as strong teammates as him. And Christian just kind of brushed it off and said, I don't want to get into that. And he again said, I don't think anyone would beat Max in this car, which is kind of a way of responding to Lewis without actually calling him out. So yeah, it was strange to hear Toto say that, but I think it probably shows you where Mercedes' head is at. I think they still feel, fairly aggrieved about 2021. I think they're still, they've talked a bit about the budget cap, and maybe Red Bull maybe didn't get punished as heavily as some teams would have liked. I wonder how much that is playing in their mind when they're saying these things. But yeah, it's hard to sound good when you're kind of throwing that much shade on a team that's like, because at the moment Red Bull have won 12 races, or was it 13 races this year? 12 races this year. Max has won 10 in a row. The other teams haven't really been close, and that's on Mercedes, that's on Ferrari, that's on Aston, that's on McLaren, etc. So when you come out and you say things like that, because when he says it's for Wikipedia, it's like, well, it is for Wikipedia, and the reason it's in Wikipedia is because it's an incredible achievement. It's historic, and it's something Mercedes, no Mercedes driver managed to do in that time when they were dominating. Schumacher didn't manage to do it. So you can sit there and say, oh, it's just for Wikipedia, but it's like, yeah, but it wasn't like he was beating a Mercedes record even. He was beating a record that Mercedes never got close to. So great in terms of it gives us something to talk about, but I just think the tone of it is all wrong for Mercedes. And I think it's amazing, isn't it, in sports, when teams dominate for ages, you can very quickly become a sour loser once that
Oh yeah.
period starts. And I've got to be honest with you, I feel like some of the things we're hearing out of Mercedes, it does feel like that. It's a team that dominated for so long, and the stuff they're saying, it's just, there's not a huge amount of kind of class and grace to it. And at the same time, part of me thinks Toto probably looked at it and said, all the headlines tonight are going to be about Max. Let's just flip it around and make it about Toto Wolff, which at the same time is pretty smart, right? Because now everyone's talking about not Red Bull and Max, they're talking about what Toto Wolff said. So, and I've just spent that entire time talking about it as well. So it's just Toto's world maybe, and we're just living in it. Maybe that's it as well. But yeah, it probably will be the quote of the season, I think, especially if Max keeps winning, because in Wikipedia by the end of the year it could be 18 straight.
Could be. It easily could be.
Thanks so much for watching ESPN on YouTube. And for more sports highlights and analysis, be sure to download the ESPN app. And for premium content and live streaming, subscribe to ESPN Plus.